I am looking for tax treatment benefit of a DST. Stands for a Delaware Statutory Trust, not a deferred sales trust. Delaware Statutory Trust. It would be done through a 1031 exchange, so I understand that part, but it sounds like not only would I get a new depreciation schedule, but I get more. Granted, I should get more just due to the new asset purchase price, right? What are the flags for a DST investment?
So I picked this one because Toby actually has a video that I did with him on it. But we were looking at, if you have capital gains sitting there from a real estate investment, what are the different ways you can maybe postpone paying tax on it, defer it, etc. DST was one of them. Spent a lot of time looking and learning about that myself during that period of time. You may or may not get a new depreciation schedule. Whenever we're doing a 1031, it carries over what your prior basis was in the relinquished property, the property you gave away. You had a basis left over, that becomes a basis in the new. As you point out here, though, if you had more, that you paid more for the replacement investment in the DST, then yes, you might get a different depreciation schedule on the newer stuff. They'll work out with that with you, how that all works. What are red flags? I think the things we always talked about is it's just not very liquid when you have that Delaware Statutory Trust.
You are stuck. And then what some people do is they do an UPREIT.
Mm-hmm.
So with the Delaware Statutory Trust, they say the trust is treated as though you own the underlying real estate. So when you buy into it, it's 1031 qualified because they say it's a Delaware Statutory Trust that's really the real estate. But you're stuck with a piece of real estate or whatever it is that one is invested in. And let's say you want more diversification. You don't want to be sweating it. Like, hey, I don't want to be just in one apartment complex or whatever this happens to be. Then you may just roll it into an UPREIT, which is another fancy way of converting a 1031 exchange property into a fund, into an actual REIT that holds lots of diverse real estate.
Yep.
But again, you're illiquid when you're in that the Delaware Statutory Trust. It's usually you're going to be there for a while. It's hard to get out.
Yeah, so you might want to think of the UPREIT. I know in that video, one question Toby asked me about it was the depreciation recapture. Technically, there isn't any depreciation recapture, but there is unrecaptured 1250, which I wasn't trying to be cute with it. So you will have what commonly would be thought of as depreciation recapture, but we just call it unrecaptured to 1250. So
on the DST,
yeah, and an UPREIT as well.
Yeah, so there might be some depreciation. So there might be some tax hit. You might be able to avoid the capital gains, but you're not going to be able to avoid the
later on when you finally sell. It will defer until you're out of the investment. But
yeah. Okay, as long as you don't sell, you don't have any tax.
Correct. Yep.
All right. Somebody says that's what is an UPREIT?
Umbrella Partnership Real Estate Investment Trust. I had to memorize that one. It's a much bigger Delaware Statutory Trust with more, I think, better.
It's a REIT designed to allow you to roll a DSTs or other 1031 exchange into it. Usually when you 1031 exchange, you have to do it yourself. Like you're going to have to, it's entity to entity. So if I have an LLC and I 1031 exchange, I got to take title of other real estate in that LLC. But in the case of a DST and an UPREIT, they said you can do it. It counts as owning the underlying real estate. So it ends up working great. Real quick, I want to do a shout out to Matthew, Patty, Amanda, Dutch, Tanya, Tricia. We had to bring some more people on because they've already answered 141 questions. To the folks that are waiting, there's 16 questions right now in queue. We're answering them as quickly as we can. These guys are working their tails off. They don't get paid to come work these things. They're doing it because everybody loves Tax Tuesday because we're weird. We like talking tax. We like talking that tax.
If you like this clip of Tax Tuesday, then I invite you to join the actual show. It's every other week, and you can ask your questions and get them answered live by myself and my team. Just click the link.